guys, and welcome to my 31-week pregnancy update. I feel like these weeks are going so quickly and it feels so surreal that I am weeks away from meeting my little girl. It's the weirdest thing ever. But I've got quite a few things to talk about that's happened this week, so I'm not going to ramble too much. It's really weird where you wear clothes that before were oversized. This is an oversized Zara jumper that Rich got me last year when we went shopping, and it's now not very oversized. So it's really weird when you have moments like that make you realise just how big you're getting. But this week I'm going to show you my bump shot and talk you through all the symptoms that I've had this week. So the first thing that I've noted is that I'm beginning to get up in the night every night to pee. It's normally about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, but I just wake up just needing to pee so bad and go to the toilet. I don't know whether it's because she's kind of squishing my bladder a little bit or whatever it may be, but I've not been able to get through the night as easy as I did beforehand. I think I gloated before that I haven't needed to start doing that, and it started. And I think that that's probably going to continue now until the birth, because she's only going to get bigger and bigger because they continue to put on ½ pound a week, which is just insane. Another thing that I've mentioned as well is that I'm beginning to get a bit of backache. It's not too bad, and I definitely know people that have had it worse than me, so it's by no means too much of a complaint, but it is something that I can feel mainly in my lower back. And every night when Rich isn't working, I'll be like, can you stroke my back, or can you massage my back? And he is really good, he does do it, but I think I'm probably annoying him a little bit by asking him all the time. But by just the sheer amount of extra weight I'm carrying, it's no surprise really that my back is beginning to tingle. And I'm obviously still at work. I'm going to still be at work until I'm 38 plus 1 day pregnant, so I am kind of keeping it slightly last minute, and I feel like these last couple of weeks are just going to get a little bit more uncomfortable. But hopefully I don't swell. That's the biggest thing I don't want. Backache I can cope with. I've got Rich on hand and he can help me get through it. But things like swelling, it's just not really fun for anyone. Now what's weird is that we're down to single weeks left, which again feels like a huge milestone. I feel like when you're first pregnant and you reach double digits, that's a huge accomplishment, and obviously you're still in a bit of a worry period until 12 weeks. So being single figures before was you just wanted to get to double figures, but now as you're counting down, and I'm I have well, now I have 8 weeks to go because I'm filming this as I'm 32 weeks, but I've just finished my 31 week. So all throughout that I was thinking I only have 9 weeks to go. And that was a really weird feeling, because I know that 9 weeks can go super quickly. And there's a really limited amount of weekends that Rich and I have, just the two of us together, before we become a family of 3. I think we've worked out with Rich's work schedule, it's 3 or 4 weekends left together. And that's really not a lot. That I know is going to go so quickly, and before I know it, I'm not going to have, if Rich is working, I'm not going to be home alone on a weekend. I'm going to have a little girl. So that's really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it. But I feel like when you enter this countdown stage, it's really weird. So I wanted to touch on my stretch mark status. And I've been absolutely rigorous with applying bio oil or Palmer's stretch mark cream, or coconut oil, or whatever it may be, morning and night every single day. But I'm beginning to see that where I've had existing stretch marks from puberty and stuff, where they've become very white and silvery and you can't really tell that they're there, you can tell that they're beginning to grow a little bit, because at the end of some of them they've begin to turn a little bit red. So I feel that's where it's beginning to expand a little bit in terms of the existing stretch mark, which I'm not too bothered about. But obviously I'm just trying to treat the area to prevent them basically ripping across my whole stomach. And where I can try and reduce that, I will. But it's one of those things is that they can be genetic. My mum got stretch marks when she had me and my sister, so going by that, I could be susceptible to getting stretch marks myself. And I realised, this was really weird, but I think because I can't basically see down there now, I've not been able to see it for weeks. I kind of noticed this week that where I thought I might have cut myself when I've shaved or whatever, they've not been cuts, they've actually been almost like the start of stretch marks like on my pubic bone. And I thought that was really uncommon. I've never really heard of anyone kind of have that before. But I've kind of looked it up and I spoke to someone and they said that's absolutely fine. It's just one of those things that, you know, you can get it anywhere on your body. But they are only small, and obviously I've not really noticed them until now. So it's just one of those things that, like, if you never knew you could get them down there, then do. Like, you can do. And obviously, like, if you're putting like stretch marks cream and stuff on your stomach, don't forget to like go down there as well. I never realised it, and I never really put anything on there because I didn't think you could get them, but now I know. So I just thought I'd share that with you as well. The really exciting thing for me, or us, this week is that my best friend announced that she is pregnant this week, that she is 12 weeks pregnant. I've known since she was like 6 weeks pregnant, so I've really had to keep my mouth shut, and it's been really hard not to say anything, obviously because she is my best friend and because we're doing this together. We're both pregnant at the same time. They have had some trouble along the way, so it's been amazing to know that they've reached the second trimester now. They've got scan photos of their little bubba, and I'm just so happy that one of my friends is pregnant. It's only really Richard's sister that has young children as well, so I feel like it's going to be really nice to have someone else. Yeah, our children are going to be a couple of months apart, but it's really nice to know that I'm not going to be doing it on my own, and when they're a little bit older, a couple of months doesn't really mean too much. So I'm super excited to be able to like let the world know, and like obviously she's now announced it, so I don't have to keep it a secret anymore. So I'm so excited for them, and I couldn't like think of anyone else that'd be better parents as well. They're so amazing, so I'm just so happy for them, and I just so happy that she's announced it, and I just can't get over it. So I also wanted to touch on, before I show my kind of belly shot, my 31 week appointment and how that went, because for me I felt like it was kind of negative. I remember I came out of it, and when Rich woke up he kind of said, well, how was your midwife appointment? And I just said it was just a little bit shitty really. And I don't know, I came away just feeling a little bit deflated. So I'll just talk about why, and like why I had these reasons to like feel a little bit like whatever. So the first thing that she said was that my platelet levels, which is basically your blood's ability to clot, had dropped down significantly. In my booking appointment it was 147, and it dropped down to 117, which is obviously dramatic and much lower than it should be, so of course there's like reason for concern. I had been referred to midwife. I had been referred to the consultant before, if you've not watched those early pregnancy videos, but they took me off because 147, I think the lowest it should be is 150, so I was only like 3 off, so he just said it doesn't matter, and just keep an eye on it. But obviously to see such a dramatic drop is really scary, and obviously you need to clot after you've had a baby. It's kind of important. So she's basically said, well, she said that she would call me back the day after my appointment to let me know like what the consultant says, because she took some more blood in this appointment to like see if they're still that low or if they've gone up. She hasn't rang me at all, which is just even more frustrating because I've been obviously worried about it, and it's so impossible to get through to midwife, so I don't know why, but it really is. So that's kind of that. My iron levels have gone up, which is good. She did say to stop taking 2 iron tablets a day and take it down just to 1 to maintain it, but for the moment I've continued taking 2 just because they hadn't gone up like significantly, so I feel like just taking 1 might dip them down, and I'm just a bit hesitant at the moment, so I am continuing to take 2, and yeah, that's kind of that with my iron. So this is something that I guess frustrated me a little bit. Oh, actually 2 things. I'll just touch on the platelet level thing as well quickly. I asked her how I can help rectify it, if there's anything I can be doing to like help my platelet count go up. She said like, no, it's just one of those things. So I was like, right, brilliant. So as soon as I came out, of course I googled it, which you shouldn't do, but because she wasn't able to answer my question, I just thought if there's something obvious that I'm doing, then hopefully I can change it. If it's a case of like changing my diet or something, then I will consider it. I don't really mind. One of the things that it said that can decrease platelet levels is the component in tonic water that helps with cramps. Now, my last midwife appointments, I'd mentioned that I've been getting really bad cramps at night, and they said to drink loads of tonic water because it's that component that helps with your cramps. So I've just stopped having tonic water now because if it's having a bad effect, then I'm going to stop doing that. But because I haven't had my midwife the last 2 appointments because she's just not been there, she hasn't known that that's been told to me. So again, just a little bit frustrating. And this is the other thing. She told me that baby is still breech at the moment and that she really needs to turn around by my next appointment. Again, I came out a bit panicked thinking, does this mean I'm going to have a C-section? Like, what does this mean? What if she doesn't turn, if she's in the wrong position? And I came away like, that's how I felt. But again, looking on kind of Google, forums, other videos, it doesn't really matter that they're breached at 31 weeks. When you get to like, obviously 34, 36, that's obviously when you want them to turn over. My next appointment is my 34-week midwife appointment, but they don't really, like, they can be breached, but sometimes they can turn as late as like 36 weeks, and it's 1 in 4 women's babies are still not like turned around by this point. And I obviously came out thinking, like, she panicked me with it because I was like, again, thinking, is there anything I can be doing? The way that she almost said, like, oh, she really needs to turn around by your next appointment, I was thinking, like, what does this mean? So I came away from that just feeling a bit like, just it wasn't the best thing to say to someone that was slightly panicked already. And this was the other thing. So I know this all sounds a bit like scary, but I just think, if I wasn't me, if I was someone that had perhaps gone through a miscarriage or had stillborn previously or something, or someone that was on really high alert to be worried very quickly, I feel like the way in which my appointment was had would cause more worry than reassurance. And this is the next thing that I just can't believe, really. They obviously measure your stomach. They start from top, go down to pubic bone. She said that baby is measuring a little bit too small at the moment. Nothing else was said about it. And I obviously, again, you panic. You think, what, am I not eating the right things? Is she not growing enough? All of these different things. But there was no extra context to it. She said, like, oh, there's like, we won't have to worry at this point. But I just felt like there's obviously no good from telling someone that their baby isn't growing as much as they should. If she'd have said, oh, there's a slight dip, but maybe they're going to have a growth spurt over the next couple of weeks or anything like that, I feel like would have been better to reassure me. There's nothing more I can do. Even if she'd have been like, oh, you'll see it's slightly down on the chart, we'll see next time. And then if there is like a worry, then let me know then. Because again, I've come away thinking, that as well as this, I just feel really deflated and I just feel a bit crappy really in myself. So that's how that midwife appointment went. And she also basically said, no, you should go for the flu jab, because I know someone that was ended up in intensive care because they didn't get it and they were pregnant. So I booked that in because I can't be dealing with going through the motions of explaining why I don't want to get the flu jab. I just thought, fine, I'll get it. If I get ill from it after, then I'll go to the midwife and say, I knew this was going to happen. I always get ill from flu jabs, but she said it's worth getting because otherwise, you can make you and your baby ill. So I just got it done. I've just booked it in. And that's for just before my next midwife appointment. And I wanted to just show you, this is the hypnobirthing book that arrived. This is by Catherine Graves. And this is just talking about like relaxation techniques to prepare you and just like introducing hypnobirthing. I've read probably about a third of the book, so I've still got the last 2/3 to go. So far it is really, really interesting, and she does like some videos on YouTube and stuff, so you can like check her out if you want some more information. But so far I'm really enjoying this, and it's helping me prepare a little bit for birth because I've not really had any preparation for it at all. So there's that. I definitely recommend getting this. I got this off Amazon for like £2 and it was new. So if you want to pick one up, then definitely get it from Amazon because they're super cheap. And yeah, it's quite nice to start thinking about things, but the way that they approach birth is a really relaxing and hypnotic kind of
Do you
way.
see what I mean in
and
terms
it's very
of
different to
bowling
like
ball status?
what other people
getting
kind of
so
tell
so
you,
big,
and it's a new way of looking at it. So I know there's so many
huge,
videos about
and
hypnobirthing online.
you can see here.
So I thought I would give this a go, give the technique a go, even if it's until I get into the hospital.
There's like
just to
pink
keep me
bits
calm
at the
and
end
collected
where they are
when
obviously
labour
just
starts.
growing a little
so I'll
bit.
quickly show you my belly shot before I jump off this video. My camera is flashing,
That's
the
kind of
battery is
how
about
I'm
to die.
looking.
So I'll wrap this up pretty quickly, but I want to just show you what I'm looking like.
And from the front. And from this side as well. My belly button is beginning, if I lift up my stomach and if I get really full it does stick out a bit, but at the moment it kind of sits fine, so that's how big I am.
So that's it for my 31-week pregnancy update. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe as well for the last final pregnancy updates on my channel, as well as kind of meeting my little girl when she's here, which feels so weird to say. It's so weird. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Love to know how your experience is going being pregnant so far, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.